Dallas, Texas. We're from Illinois.
And we're watching
Wanderlust Estate.
Oh, the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
Okay guys, it's stormy. It's getting stormy here, but that always makes it get really busy, so I'm gonna go for it. Dash now. Let's see how the night goes. The storm has arrived on my first dash here. This one was kind of far. I wish it hadn't been so far, but you know, it's still $1 a mile, so I went ahead and took it. So last night in the storming weather, I made the most per hour that I've ever made so far in DoorDash. Obviously, I didn't sit there and cover it simply because I needed to be extra careful with how it was, not just with myself, but everybody else that was on the road. It was not a surprise to see multiple accidents while I was driving along, you know. But there was a lot of emergency vehicles out on the road as well, and I made $51 in 2.5 hours yesterday. Yeah, no, not quite 2.5 hours. So, you know, I made about 21, 22 an hour. The miles were pretty low, actually, for the earnings. I only put on like just shy of 35 miles to make that. So really, it was my best day. I would say after my expenses, I was probably somewhere between $16 and $18 an hour. I think that this is the second time I've delivered in stormy weather, and both times I earned really well. So if you're willing to drive in that, you could definitely make some cash. Today I pretty much have a full schedule. I'm stoked. So I'm about ready to head over to Dash today at 10:30 a.m. here, and then I go till 2 o'clock, I believe it was, and then I have a break, and then I have a 5:30 to 10. It's either 5:30 to 10 or 5:30 to 11 shift today. So I should be able to pull down at least $100, maybe 150. We'll see how she plays out today. I'll check in with you a little bit later. I'm actually heading over to get to the spot that I need to be at to start dashing. Today's lunch rush, while I was doing DoorDash, I only made like $40. I broke my rule on one order, and it ended up being a big mistake. So I always say $1 a mile. An order came in paying $10, which isn't bad. That's kind of higher for a guarantee. It said 12 miles, but it routed me to downtown Fort Worth, and it just took so long to get around down there. It wasn't the mileage, you gotta have that $1 a mile, even on the longer trips, because you never know what's gonna cause you to have a wait. So I put 200 hours on this girl, and now it's time for her oil change. So warming her up and then gonna drain the oil. See how far we have to get away before you can't hear her. I can still hear it. Can you guys? Almost can't now. Getting close. I can't hear her anymore. Can you guys? Okay, I just drained it straight out of here into this jug. Okay, super easy. So I pulled the air filter out, cleaned it up, letting it dry out here, and then we're gonna soak it in oil, because that's what the manual says, to soak it in oil before I put it back in. It also said to go ahead and clean the spark arrestor screen, which is this guy here. So I pulled this cover off real quick, just some screws here, And when it cools down, I'm gonna pull that off and clean that as well. Got to pull my spark plug here. I'm just gonna put a new one in, maybe earlier than I need to, but I'd rather just have her running really good. Okay, so we pulled this little guy off, and then use pliers to pull this off here. And our spark arrestor is right here, so we're gonna clean this guy up, put it back on. Use this wire brush here to go ahead and clean up the outside of this guy pretty good. Here, made it shiny. If you remember the last one, it was all covered in black. And then did the same on the outside of this. In the inside, I used just used the wire battery cable cleaner here, and it fit right in there like that, and I just twisted in there to clean the inside. So we should be ready to put that back together. Time for this guy to go back in here like so. Sit in there, take this, put it right over that. Make sure it's good and on there. And then we'll take this guy, put it back on there and tighten her up. Okay, so the spark plug came from right out there. You access it from up top here with the wrench. And that's what she looks. There's some carbon buildup here. I'm just gonna replace it. Got her all buttoned back up. Let's see if she runs now. She might actually sound a little quieter now. But she's running. Let's see here. Yeah, by golly, I think it might be a little bit quieter. There she goes. She's all quiet and everything. Got her all serviced. All right, guys, so I got wrapped up today, made 79 bucks during the dinner rush, made 40 bucks during the lunch rush, and so I had just about $120 a day today. I got asked by somebody to go ahead and show my process that I go through when I go to do urban camping with my generator running. And so I first find myself a nice spot here like this, you know. I got some like brush, well, this is more like grass, but you know what I'm saying. I got something that kind of blocks off the front of the van a little bit, you know, and then it's back off on the parking lot where it's kind of alone, you know, so nobody's likely to park next to me. And if you see here, there's a little grass area right here, and so I'm gonna go grab the generator and set it up right here where nobody will see it this way, nobody will see it from behind, you know, and it's unlikely for anybody to notice it here because not too many people park out here. Get in my box. I already went and stopped off at the gas station and topped it off. Later on I'll have fuel in here, but really I didn't want to run around with the weight if I didn't have to, so I haven't filled this guy up. I'll fill it up before I leave town to go out camping. So then I just kind of set it up like that. I already got the extension cord strung over the van here, and I try to be as inconspicuous with it as I can, you know, just the least noticed as possible. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bicycle lock it to this. She's bicycle locked on here, and it's time to start it. There she is started. Now I gotta let her run like 5 minutes before I go ahead and plug her in. And she's pretty quiet. If you hear how she quiets down as soon as I walk away. And it's even more so when I go around the other side of the van. You almost can't hear it now. And then I need to close this up. Now, as soon as she's done running her 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my extension cord. That'll turn everything in the van on. And then I'll run in here to Walmart real quick, and I go ahead and use the restroom before I go to bed. That way I don't have to use the cassette toilet I have in the van. It's nice to not have to dump it. First thing I do to get ready for running the AC is I go ahead and I shut down my vent here. I have the cord running into the Kodiak, so I put a little juice in there at night too while the generator is running, because what the heck, why not? I got this guy here set up for the battery that's behind my seat. As you see, the cord that runs up over that. And when I plug in the extension cable, this is all ready. I just have to hit charge. Obviously, I take my contact out now and everything. But since I am at a Walmart, I'll probably just do that inside of the Walmart. Hopefully you can see it when the AC pops on here. I'm gonna run and plug in the generator now. I mean the extension cord into the generator, and she'll come on automatically. Okay, so if you see over there, she came on. She's just, the fan's running right now. The compressor will kick on here in a minute. Go over here. The battery's at pretty good charge still at 12.5. That's not bad at all. Set it for standard, hit on. And she's at 93%. All right, guys, it's bedtime now. Get out there, connect with people, live your big story, and make sure you do something every single day to reduce world suck. Peace, guys.